Welcome everybody, Derek Sue, your 2022 Oakland mayoral candidate. I am also the 77th Ave Rangers Community Relations Officer. I also founded this community group here on 77th Ave. I was the original inhabitant back in March of 2014. So anyway, what I wanted to talk to all of you folks about was everybody's been inquiring about the hotel sheltering program, and a lot of questions: who's running it, who's operating, how, the nuts and bolts of everything. Well, folks, I'm going to give you the opportunity to look inside the system. I have right now several people embedded in different locations of Operation Comfort and Project Safer Ground. So I am going to be working mostly with Project Safer Ground. However, folks that I come across that are symptomatic, that may have COVID-19, those will go into a separate program. I report those directly to Alameda County, and they will administer the COVID-19 tests and possibly quarantine rooms, or they may just end up staying here in the encampment itself. So anyway, I have people at different places. I have a person on the hospital aspect. I have a person also in community cabins here in Oakland. I have a person here within my camp who's starting the process, along with several other folks. So right now, as of last night, this is April 15th today. As of last night, there were some changes at the Alameda Health Systems County meeting for this particular program. And so what we're doing, we have relaxed a lot of the protocols, and so now we're moving on to Project Safer Ground. Project Safer Ground is at the Radisson, and that is at 8400 Eads Avenue here in Oakland. And so we're going to start putting folks into there. We've had a lot of issues with gateways throughout Oakland, and most of you know that I'm a very outspoken advocate for the homeless. I've been working diligently to try and get 37 individuals into one of the hotel situations, whether it be Operation Comfort or Project Safer Ground. And as of today, I still have 0 people that have reached the hotels or any kind of housing situations. They're still embedded in the system. They're in different parts of the system. So some of the things that I want to talk about that we have problems with are city and county. As you know, they talk about all the different gateways and possible entry points, and that this is low barrier. Well, to clarify low barrier, that would mean drug use is allowed, pets, some children. So there's a lot of different things that would be included in low barrier. And in fact, it has been a very high barrier on the streets, because a lot of the agencies that are the gateways that have the CES numbers for a lot of folks, they are the problem agencies. Oakland's intervention agencies, such as Operation Dignity, BACS, Bay Area Community Services, EOCP, East Oakland Community Project, City Team, and Abode has been a huge problem. And then we also have issues with some other ones, but they're smaller issues, so they're not as bad. But these are the main agencies that contain the bulk of the folks' history on the street. And because of the way that they abused and really harmed the folks while they were in their shelter care, whether it be Operation Dignity, BACS, EOCP, City Team, St. Vincent, they all have negative experiences. Very few people actually come out with real housing out of any of these agencies, and these are the ones that are supposedly to get folks into housing as authorized by the city of Oakland, and they're paid very well for their work and service of the community. But yet, as far as numbers of actual placements, none of the agencies report any actual verifiable documents where folks actually got housing. They provide general numbers as a norm, but they will not substantiate in any way or any manner who got placed where and what services they still have. So the hotels are still a very high barrier because you're allowed one 30-gallon garbage bag of possessions and one pet. That's all you're allowed. And so most of the folks out here have a lot more than that. A lot of the folks, the things that they possess and acquire out here, these are things that help them get through day-to-day events. Cooking, some ice, an ice chest. Yeah, so these are simple things, but then when the limits say that you can only bring certain amount of things, and some of your larger possessions, even your tent, you may not be able to bring your tent, so that when the program ends, then you are going to be in a worse situation than what you were previously, because right now there is no solution for when the crisis ends. So when the crisis ends, it's highly possible that folks are going to end up back out on the streets looking for shelter again. So this particular situation is getting really close to that point, because they're already starting to talk about putting people back to work and reopening the economy. So this is a big concern for everybody. Right now, a lot of the access is through personal outreach from the intervention agencies that I mentioned, plus a few more. And then also we have outreach groups like myself. I work through Alameda County Healthcare for the Homeless. I am part of the street healthcare team, and so I report directly to Alameda County for all of my findings and reporting. So things are different on this end. We have a better reputation, and so some things are definitely changing, and we're needing change. Some of the other things that we need to talk about is we need to open up more gateways for CES, Coordinated Entry System. That's how people get in line for services, the hotel rooms. You have to have a CES number. So you have to go through an intake, and they're going to gather information on you, plus some other documents and things that are going to be required. And then also you're going to have a COVID-19 test administered to see if you have COVID-19. If you're positive, you're going to be more likely quarantined to Operation Comfort, which is at the Comfort Inn for those that have COVID-19, symptoms of COVID-19, or were exposed to somebody with COVID-19. So that one will handle the quarantine. For the folks going to the Radisson, this one is Operation Safer Ground. And so the folks are tested for the actual COVID-19 so that we know that they're negative. Once the tests come back negative, then they're going to be issued a CES number plus a room that they will occupy from that point on. So, but the problem is that there are not enough gateways. Oakland actually has a center which could work very well as a gateway portal for a lot of folks. It's called It's downtown Oakland. It's on the 6th floor, and it's called the Oakland Community Housing Assistance Center. It is an underutilized office that is approximately 2,400 square feet, has one person in the entire office. So a lot of county folks could be placed in there, and if I remember right, there were at least a dozen different windows that are spaced at least 6 feet apart. So this particular office could work very well for using as an intake and a gateway portal for folks to get hotel rooms in a more timely fashion and get qualified in a more timely fashion also. We're able to handle a lot more folks, whereas right now the present system, these agencies have maybe one or two folks that can actually do the interviews, input the information, and then get a CES number. So everything is very limited in terms of those folks, and that creates a huge bottleneck for intake. So we have a lot of issues here. Then right now we have, since March, the state of California and the Bay Area, or Oakland and Alameda County, have paid to a hotelier here in Oakland $1.38 million has been paid to this single person who is the landlord and franchisee of both of those hotels. And Mr. Patel, like I said, has not had that much in terms of occupancy in either hotels up until last night, and he's been paid right now $1.38 million to date. So that's a big waste of resources here that needs to be addressed. We have an additional 1,607 rooms coming online here in the next week. We also are witnessing right now at address 633 Hagenberger Road, the new FEMA trailers that are the village that's going in. Right now we have work going on. It's all been fenced in. Sewer lines, water lines, and electrical lines are being placed for the 64 trailers that will be overseen by Roots Community Healthcare Center here in Oakland with Dr. Noha Abalada. So she's going to be in charge of that. The other group, there's approximately 15 trailers that will be going to Youth Artworks, or Youth Spirit Artworks, operated by Sally Heineman out of Berkeley. So that particular group are all minors, street youths that are homeless. So she will be in charge of that particular program. So there are different things that are coming online. Again, we still don't have an exit strategy of any form. I've been trying to talk with Oakland managers. In fact, Peter Radu was in one of the meetings on Monday, and again, all they talk about are the problems and that the city has no money. Well, everybody knows that City of Oakland, with the poor management that we've had over the decades, we are $2 billion in debt and growing, and now really growing because of the shutdown. So it's not unheard of to be concerned that City of Oakland may end up filing for bankruptcy like Vallejo did. And that may be the case for a lot of cities. So we have to find programs and housing for the unhoused, and those folks that are currently housed in the hotels, they're going to need housing when they come out, when the program ends. So I've been talking to the city on a program. City's been ignoring me, and this is a program that costs the city virtually nothing. It will produce 100 tiny homes which will house folks, much like the FEMA trailer village. it's going to have water, sewer, and electric. And the cost to the city of Oakland and the Alameda County taxpayers is virtually nothing. So we're working behind the scenes trying to get a lot of changes here in Oakland, but the new administration, the new CAO administrators that have come online appear no better than the last group that we've had, and so I don't see much movement up until 2022. But anyway, I have folks, participants, like I said, in different areas, and for those of you that are interested in doing this story, it's going to be a good story. You'll be able to talk with each of the individuals, get their personal stories, and how they came into the system, and how the system is working for them or not working for them. And you will talk to them directly. And so, by you folks, those of you that want to participate, get back with me. I will give you the direct contact information to each of the candidates that I have embedded within the system, so you can develop your own story. I'm giving you the avenue and the folks that you can talk to make this possible. This also allows the public, the general public, to see what truly goes on behind the scenes with city and Alameda County. So we hope that you elect to choose to follow this story, to work with the homeless folks that I have embedded into the process already. And I'm here to answer any of your questions. We have a lot of things going right now, a lot of things I can't talk about from last night's meeting with Alameda Health Systems and the county. So, but anyway, there are a lot of different things coming online, new changes. We have some big changes that are planned for the very, very near future. Also, one of the things that I wanted to bring up is that I'm running for City of Oakland Mayor in 2022. And the folks that we have in our administration are not looking after the best interests of this City of Oakland. I have the best interests of the City of Oakland at heart, and that's why I'm running for Oakland Mayor. So those of you that do want to follow my candidates that are embedded in the program, get back with me at my phone. You can call me at area code 510-427-3884, or you can email me at Sue Derrick, SOODERRICK @yahoo.com. So, hope this makes a difference, and we'll see you soon.